Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Rick's Retirement Journey. I've been reading this book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. It's about mindfulness meditation in everyday life, written by a gentleman named John Kabat-Zinn. Z-I-N-N is the last name, or Kabat-Zinn. And I actually finished the book today. But while I'm reading it, I kind of outlined or identified some chapters that I thought were pretty meaningful. And this one in particular, I think you could say it's a metaphor for life, and I think it'll mention that in this. Metaphor for life as retirees, metaphor for life as far as parents and grandparents. And so here, I'm going to go ahead and read this. There are outer mountains and inner mountains. Their very presence beckons to us, calls us to ascend. Perhaps the full teaching of a mountain is that you carry the whole mountain inside yourself, the outer one as well as the inner. And sometimes you search and search for the mountain without finding it until the time comes when you are sufficiently motivated and prepared to find a way through, first to the base, then to the summit. The mountain climb is a powerful metaphor for the life quest, the spiritual journey, the path of growth, transformation, and understanding. The arduous difficulties we encounter along the way embody the very challenges we need in order to stretch ourselves and thereby expand our boundaries. In the end, it is life itself which is the mountain, the teacher, serving us up perfect opportunities to do the inner work of growing in strength and wisdom. And we have a lot of learning and growing to do once we choose to make the journey. The risks are considerable. Sacrifice is awesome. The outcome always uncertain. Ultimately, it is the climb itself which is the adventure, not just standing at the top. First we learn what it's like at the base. Only later do we encounter the slopes, and finally perhaps the top. But you can't stay at the top of the mountain. The journey is not complete without the descent, stepping back and seeing the whole again from afar. Having been at the summit, however, you have gained a new perspective, and it may change your way of seeing forever. In a wonderfully unfinished story called Mount Analogue, René Daumal once mapped a piece of this inward adventure. The part I remember most vividly involves the rule of Mount Analogue, that before you move up the mountain to your next encampment, you must replenish the camp you are leaving for those who will come after you, and go down the mountain a ways to share with the other climbers your knowledge from farther up, so that they may have some benefit from what you have learned so far on your own ascent. In a way, that's all any of us do when we teach. At best we can. Show others what we have seen up to now. It's at best a progress report, a map of our experiences, by no means the absolute truth. And so the adventure unfolds. We are all on Mount Analogue together, and we need each other's help. I like this story. It reminds me of a couple of things. Being parents and being grandparents and helping our children grow. And as we grow, they grow. As we continue to summit the mountain of life, we always are the ones that bring back that information to them to help them along. And that is such a good feeling, knowing that you will help them progress in their lives. It also reminds me of a friend named Sam, Wander with Sam. He just completed hiking the Appalachian Trail, summiting Mount Katahdin there in Maine before it closed. And just watching one of his videos, he has learned a lot traveling all 2,197.4 miles from Springer Mountain in Georgia all the way up to Maine. And now he's looking at what he wants to do afterwards. But some of the things that he's expressed is that he has learned a lot along the way, and he wants to be able to share that information. He's had a lot of inner and outer growth, and he's just looking forward to the next phases of his life. And finally, we as retirees, to a certain extent, we've summited the mountain. We've been at the top. And now it's our place in this world to continue passing on that knowledge, expressing our experiences in hopes that those that come after us will also be able to learn from what we have done or what we have not done. Great book. Wherever you go, there you are. Mindfulness, Meditation in Everyday Life. John Kabat-Zinn. Came out in 1994. Over 750,000 copies throughout the world. And so far so good. It's a pretty good book. I may come back with another chapter later on down the road, but yes, I finished this book, and there are so many more on my shelf. I hope everybody is doing well. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't done so, and especially comment. Tell me your thoughts about summiting your mountain, descending your mountain, and coming back and passing your lifetime experiences to those that will be doing their summits later on in life. Once again, thank you so much, and until next time, Rick out.